What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Planet Rell. We have a new ongoing of The Incredible Hulk, written by Phillip Kennedy Johnson and art by Nic Klein. Hulk enters the age of monsters. Let's get into it. So we start out here with these archaeologists in this cave, but it turns out to really be a tomb. And there was a doctor that told him about this place, and he thought it was a king's tomb. But it really wasn't a king's tomb, because there were monsters down there. Then there was these mummy things sitting at the bottom. I'm like, yeah, it's time to go. I ain't messing with none of that. Now, they thought it was going to be jewels and stuff down there, but all they see is bones and other stuff. Now, this archaeologist, her name is Trudy. She starts looking at one of the bones, and she see that it was just a child. Now, one of the other archaeologists goes up to her and like, hey, it's time to go, because he ain't trying to get arrested. And now Trudy just looks stuck. And I'm like, yeah, something wrong, bro. Something off with this. Then something possesses her, and her neck just snaps, does a complete 180. And the thing that possesses her says, the green door is shut. Now, I ain't gonna cap to you, bro. If that was me down there and that happened in front of me, I would have pulled out All Reliable and been like,
Happy New Year, man. God.
Now back to this panel about the green door being shut. Back in issue 45 of The Immortal Hulk, the leader, who was possessed by the One Below All, closed all the green doors, and he locked them. And the only way they could travel back and forth was by the Forever Gate, which was made by Valeria Richards, who is the daughter of Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four. Okay, now back to the story. This demon monster thing ripped out of Trudy, and then just starts eating the archaeologists there. I was shocked. Now this monster is saying that he's on his way to his mom. I'm like, who is your mama and where y'all going? And it says it's coming to free her and all of his brothers and sisters. And I'm like, nah, bro, just keep them in there, man. Whatever people said they did it. Just keep them in there. Now this monster says that nobody has the strength to stop them from getting their kingdom because the green door is shut. Now we have this diner called Jack's Diner. Rest in peace to Jack Kirby, who helped create the Hulk. And now here's Bruce Banner coming into the story. And he just wants some sandwiches. And then this lady started talking about her dog wanting his sandwiches. And Bruce telling her like, look dog, I gotta go. And she seems concerned. But Bruce says there's somebody that's very angry at him. And that there's nothing nobody can do to help. Now he grabs the sandwich and gives a piece of it to the dog. Then he goes to pay for the food. And as he talks to the waiter voice changes into the Hulk's voice. And the Hulk says that he warned him that he should have stayed away. And that was like Bruce was hallucinating. And it was like a nightmare for real. Now the cashier says the price, but Bruce is gone. Like he got up through. Now Bruce is running through the forest into the woods. And he says it's not their fault. And I guess he's talking about the people at the restaurant. But the Hulk says, nah, it's your fault, Banner. And Bruce wakes up yelling. And then we see everything around him is destroyed. So I'm like, yeah, he done turned into the Hulk. He gets up and he cracking bones and putting them back in place. Then we see the police. I'm like, yeah, it's time to go. Then the dog that was there. We see the dog just barking. I'm like, where's his owner? In the background, we see green paint that says your fault. And I'm like, that's crazy. And even Bruce realizes. And he just goes away into the woods. Now we cut to this new character. Her name is Charlene. And she's thinking past her dad to go outside to work on a car that her grandmother gave her. She's working on it with her friend. And then the car jack just breaks. And now I'm in shock too. While they're in shock. Then her dad come outside saying it's his car. I'm like, cap. But he wondering what they doing with the car. And Charlene just runs off. She's pissed too. And she says that she's going to be bigger, stronger, and tougher than her dad and everybody else. I'm like, she got big goals for herself. Now we see some FBI agents. And they know it was Bruce and the Hulk that did this. So they get told to follow the trail of Gamma. And they get told if they see Bruce in his human form, to shoot him with these C guns. But if he's in his Hulk form, they get told to not engage at all. Then we see these other new characters, and I'm just like, who is these people? But they do know who they looking for, and they're looking for Bruce. and the lady says it stinks of the green door. Now this lady, who is called the eldest, she tells the dude to go find Bruce. Then he turns into one of the monster things. And I'm just like, what's going on? It was like it was just waiting to come out of his shell. Then it just goes away. And it goes to find what it's looking for. Now we cut to Charlene, and she's getting chased by her dad in the car. And then he crashes into a tree. Then it's yelling in the background, telling Banner not to resist. I'm like, what's going on? And the FBI agents were saying that Stark trying to do something, but then Bruce cuts him off, saying that he's hunting me. And when they ask who, he says the Hulk. And Bruce tells them that he had the Hulk locked away in his mind, but now he's out. And that the Hulk wants to be in permanent control. And Bruce locked the Hulk away during a previous run of Hulk, written by Donny Cates. And the FBI agents were contemplating on running away, but Bruce says it's too late, because now the Hulk is here. And he starts to transform. And as Bruce is turning into the Hulk, it looks like a very painful transformation. It does not look pleasant at all. Now as the transformation finishes, Hulk starts to speak. And he says the body is his, and that Banner is mine. And as he smacks away some of the FBI agents, he says to tell Stark to leave him alone. Now Stark being brought up in here made me think about the time they fought during Kate's run of Hulk. Then Hulk escaped through the celestial armor that Tony made. And then when they fought again during Banner of War. And now we see Charlene, and she sees the Hulk just walking away through the woods. And then we see her dad falling out the car, and she starts to beat him up, punching him, kicking him. Then she pauses for a second, and she just starts wailing on him. And then we see the other side of her face, and I'm like, yeah, her dad must have been putting his hands on her, and now she's just returning the favor. And then we see the monster jumping out of the tree, and they see Charlene walking away. Now the monster takes over and possesses Charlene's father, and it tells the eldest that it has found the Hulk. And it also tells the eldest that Bruce and the Hulk are now enemies, and she says it should be like that. And the eldest pulls out this green glue, and she says the truest worship is fear. And the eldest says that Bruce wears God flesh, which is the Hulk, and that if he wants to get rid of that, it will make their mission a lot easier. And now the eldest starts to talk to somebody else, and she said that they served him well. And the person she's talking to reveals to be Betty Ross, or Betty Banner, since she is married to Bruce. And the last time we saw her was in Immortal Hulk issue 48, and her and the Hulk were having a serious conversation. And then also in Defenders, and they were fighting a fifth cosmos being named Moradin, and a green door opens, and it takes Betty and the rest of the Defenders team to the fourth cosmos. Alright, back to the story. Betty says that Bruce would never let them have the Hulk, and that the Hulk would kill them if they try to take him away from Bruce. And the eldest says she feels Betty trying to cast her out her mind, and she reminds Betty that she is still a child to the mother of horrors. And now we see the eldest. She starts to summon and command all of the monsters around the world, and I wonder what that thing was behind her. It might have been the mother of horrors. And the monsters we see are the Mole Man, Man-Thing, and we see Ghost Rider's bike. And these three alone just have me interested as to what's going to happen next. And we already catching a glimpse as to what's going to happen in issue 4 with this cover here. And the eldest gives a message to all the monsters, and that is to find the Hulk. And she also says that his spirit is of the one below all, and that the one below all is their enemy. And she also says that the Hulk's flesh is the key to free the mother of horrors. And as we see Charlene run into the Hulk and she sees him face to face, and the eldest says all of this because it would bring in a new age of monsters. That was Hulk number 1, The Age of Monsters has begun. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, like and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one. God bless. I'm out.